Welcome to the Forging Podcast, where our mission is to forge guys into godly husbands, fathers, men, and leaders in their communities. We push out of our comfort zone, face our fears, and grow stronger every day. We strive to be selfless providers, dangerous protectors, loving husbands, fathers, and friends. I hope you all enjoy the podcast. Welcome back, guys, to the Forging Podcast. You know, we missed last week, and I got a little heads up that somebody didn't even bother to go to work because they didn't have the podcast to listen to. So I recommend to them, you know, they could go back to listen to our old ones or listen to something else. And they just said, you know what, I'm going to take the week off and we'll see what happens next week, maybe. So, of course, they were joking, but it was funny. But we're here. We're back. You know, this is a real busy season for all of us. And so it's harder to make these things happen. And it's going to be harder for me the next couple of weeks because we're going to be in Florida. So you guys are going to get to hear Brett and Adam, hopefully, as long as everything works out with them. And if you don't hear anything, then I guess I'll just keep you posted on Facebook. So you guys need to keep on Facebook. You guys should get on Facebook and follow us. That way you know when we're going to put stuff out or not. And, yeah, we'll just try to keep you posted and updated on that because, I don't know, sometimes we just have a hard time.
Can we put it over here?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Sometimes we just have a hard time getting the time to record, and my wife is throwing the headset on the ground. So yes, I spilled the beans. My wife is on with us tonight. It's tonight. We're literally laying in our bed.
Yes, we're comfortable.
Talking about this is a good topic about procrastination, actually.
Oh yeah. Why are we doing a podcast this late in the week
at
and
almost 11 o'clock at night?
This late at night. Well, we
because
have 10
we've been
kids
so busy
in the house.
Yeah, so speaking of 10 kids, can you grab that headset that you chucked on the ground and make sure your audio is where it needs to be?
I can hear it.
But I need to make sure your audio is up.
Yeah, I can hear myself, so I know it's good.
Well, Blake will have to adjust otherwise. So, let's see. I think the last time I was on with Brett in our daggum rainstorm, it was like a tsunami.
So that was 2 weeks off, no?
No.
Oh.
No, we just missed last Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I was
when me and
thinking
Brett
it
were
was
on,
2.
I was talking about how Lila was able to minister to the kids. One of them gave their life to the Lord. They were excited to come to church, which was awesome. And it was supposed to just be a temporary thing, just for the weekend. But we are gluttons for punishment.
No.
No.
It's a blessing.
It is a blessing. I'm just being funny. No, it's a blessing. Yeah,
they meshed great with our family, and we never planned on taking in older kids. So
and
it's for us, it's kind of like we already had decided no, but they've just blended in so well.
Yeah,
and
I told the
really
caseworkers, I said,
kids.
if you guys don't have another place for them to go, we can't take them. And then they're like, well, if you can hold them through to Tuesday, we'll make something happen. And we're like, okay, if you can do that, we can survive, a weekend.
Yeah, and they had a plan. They had a plan for them to go somewhere else.
And we actually last minute told them, because they were prepped to
it was
to
Memorial
come out.
Day.
Yeah.
Because they were not
the day
really
before,
working.
we said, hey, you know what, we'll hang on to them here. Because
It
they
was
had
on Monday.
prepped to take them somewhere else.
Yeah. And we basically said, yeah, I mean, if they're going to make, if the new place that they're taking them is going to have them switch schools anyway, because it's pretty far, we knew that that was something we were going to have to do because of how far away. And so it was like, well, if they're going to keep them at their school, we know that that's better for them. So if, if that's the case, then let them have them.
Yeah.
And then we found out that they were planning on switching schools anyhow because of their location. And so that kind of made, helped us with our final
Well, it helps
decision in
you.
that.
It didn't really matter for me on the school switching thing because right now it's summer break anyways, and we could have had time
I
to
know, but
kind of gear them
imagine,
towards changing that direction. But for me, it was just
yeah,
older kids. One's a boy, and I was more nervous of how they were going to interact with our kids, how the boy was going to interact with our daughters. Stuff like
yeah, you
that
just
was really
don't
my biggest
know. You
concern,
just don't know, yeah.
and just how well they're going to fit, with us. And they just, we took them in. They meshed really well with our kids. They started getting along, playing, doing their thing, and
But I mean, it's a big deal. Like when you're in school, it's a big deal when you have to switch complete schools. I mean, that's switching friends, teachers that you love and trust,
never
and
been
then
there
just.
before. Teachers that I love and trust. What's that?
Well, I asked them. They said they really did like their school.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to pull them from that, Because if they were like, no, we don't like it, then it would have been like, oh, well, what do you think about switching?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. We don't know how long this situation will be, so it might just be temporary.
Yeah.
It might be
Well,
a
it's always
short-term thing.
temporary.
And, well, maybe. Depends on how good the parents do, whether it's temporary or not. I'm
Well,
saying like being with us, having to go to a different school, could just be temporary. It could be a short period of time.
yeah.
I don't know. But either way, so yeah, we decided
I'm hopeful it will be short term.
for that. Yeah, hopeful for them.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they get out of here soon. Man, they're driving me crazy. No, they're really good kids, and
Yeah.
now they've been with us for over a week now.
It'll
Just a
be
fuzz over.
3 weeks on Thursday.
Wait. Seriously, they've been here that long?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because
It's 2.5 weeks they've been with us.
Okay. See, if this isn't a glimpse into how busy and hectic our life is, I can't believe it's been that. Yeah, I mean, duh, it makes sense because I did a podcast with Brett 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. And
they've been with us since that Thursday. Jeez, oh Pete. Well, see, there you go. So, almost 3 weeks, not a week.
Good Lord. And they're starting to get more comfortable now, and
yeah. So now the fussing is coming out between everybody now.
But it's just like normal
kid stuff.
It's nothing like some of the stories you hear. It's nothing like that.
Yeah, nothing horrifying. It's just like
oh, Gemma, he took my ice cream cone.
Gemma's playing with us now, and then they don't want to play with Lila, and now they're playing with Lila, and they don't want to play with Gemma. Remy drank my water. Just, just typical.
I wanted a grape popsicle, but there's no more. She took the last one. I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Sorry. I can't just make stuff appear, guys.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's.
Oh,
so yeah, that's.
Kids are fun.
There's something. They are something.
I mean, in the moment, it's like stress. It's like, oh my goodness. But talking about it in the aftermath of everything, it's just like, that's such a, it's so dumb. It's so, it's just such petty stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's so.
And I guess we could look at it as we're glad that that's what they're fighting about.
They're fighting because they're punching each other and ripping each other's hair out like me and my sister used to do.
Yeah. Or my brother trying to suffocate me under blankets and pillow
Is
sheets
that
and
why you got
stuff.
that weird twitch now?
That's why I'm claustrophobic.
Yes.
Do I have a twitch?
No, I was just kidding.
Oh. I don't think I lost that much oxygen.
Well,
Be nice.
I'm being as nice as humanly possible. Okay, I'm being as nice as I'm capable of being.
There you go. That's truth.
Yes. So we added a couple more to our family, and it's pretty cool. It's a handful, but it's cool. But it just comes with more.
And it's like, it's hard too. Just like the babies are hard, but it's like a different hard. Like it's, and I don't know if I want to say it's hard, but I mean, of course, just adding anybody to your family is going to be, come with its own difficulties and just things that you have to learn how to navigate.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's just different.
like
It's
shower
like
time.
we're not.
Like shower time, how we started at 8 o'clock tonight, and they finally
Yes.
all finished taking showers by 10.
Yeah, we were like, man, we're gonna start this early tonight. We're gonna get it done. And surprise! I don't know how they all ended up going to bed so late again. Like,
Yeah, we're
we
trying
gotta
to
figure this out.
It's like the routine that we had for our kids of getting everybody in bed by what, 9 o'clock.
8:30, 9. Yeah,
That like completely went out the window.
yeah.
And now if everybody's in bed by 10, it's a miracle.
Yeah, we definitely need another shower up in this house.
I wish we knew a guy that knew how to build showers and stuff.
I'm looking at one.
Where is he? Oh, you're looking at me.
Yeah.
I know how to do it for other people, but when I come home, I don't. It's
You
like
ain't never lied.
it's like my abilities to remodel go out the window. We're just gonna have to find a guy and hire him to work on my house. Hopefully, he's cheaper than I am, so that I can at least afford to pay the guy.
No, I'll be DIYing stuff before I pay someone else.
I'm gonna give her
not you.
I'm gonna give her credit because honestly, I suck at coming home and doing stuff. Well,
I do a lot.
I suck at coming home and doing house repair stuff. Except for lately, I've been remodeling our entire garage so that I can open my gun shop in it. So I haven't sucked at doing that. I've been kicking butt on that. Just not the rest of the house that needs it.
Yeah, my porch was on the way, and then this business deal popped up. So my porch is
your porch ain't gonna make
still
us
not
money,
happening.
But Cerakote and gun repair will make us money. You're
I don't
welcome.
know. Someone might pull up to this house and go, I ain't trusting this guy with
Look, when I pull up, I say the same thing, but unfortunately, I have to finish pulling up and park because I actually live here. I pull up, I'm like, man, there's some shady people living in this place. Oh,
did I tell
I'm
you
the
that
guy.
did I tell you that the early intervention lady for one of the foster kiddos, she went to the back door for the first time. Like, she never has gone to the back door, and she went to the back door.
You mean the side with the ramp on it?
Yeah, that's our back door.
That's it the back door
of the house?
It's funny how our house is
No,
set.
it's not. It's not interesting. They don't want to hear about it.
Wow. Freaking
But
rude.
Shelby, she always... Oh, I said her name. My bad.
Well,
She
that's
always...
a caseworker. I don't think it matters.
She's not a caseworker. She's at early intervention.
Well, either way, she's not a foster kid. You can say her name.
Well...
Say her name. Say her name.
Well, anyway, she pulled up and she was probably like, I don't know what's going on over there. But I'm going to go to the back of the house.
So we have double front doors. And when we bought the house, there was a concrete stoop, I guess you call it, a pad, with stairs going up to it, and then you can go into the house. Well, there was trees growed up all across the front of the house. So I didn't even know that was there until I started ripping trees off of my house. And saw that was there. And at the same time, we have a basement under that area. And somehow the concrete was broken. The big concrete pad on top was broken and funneled towards the house so that when it would rain, it'd run off the eave of the roof, hit that, and then it would funnel it right down into our basement. So
Mm-hmm.
you can imagine our one wall is
So we tore that
damaged.
out. So we
So we ripped it
literally
all
have a
out.
construction zone in the front
So we ripped
yard.
that all out, and now it's just like if you step out our front door, you'll fall like 4 feet. So we keep
I
it
just
locked and
pictured
blocked
Jim
until
Carrey in The Truman Show when he like opens that door and it's like there's nothing there.
yeah.
It's like a movie set or something.
So I was gonna build a
Oh,
deck.
that's funny.
We had a little bit of savings. I want to build a nice big deck in front of the house with a roof, and I want to screen it in, but she doesn't want it because she's whatever about it. But I'd like
I
to have a
like to
nice screen
look
so I
out
can
my
sit
porch.
outside and not get tormented by no-see-ums and mosquitoes and flies and everything else that comes their way up
I
here.
also a requirement is a porch swing.
And I have to build a porch swing. That's least of my worries in the whole grand
And
scheme of
he
things.
thinks that putting cattle panel as railing is cute.
It looks good. It's a farmhouse theme. I did it on a job and it looks awesome. You still do wood framing. You just have cattle panels
I'm
instead
all
of,
about saving money, honey.
well, good because we have cattle panels and I can cut them to fit, so it won't cost us any more
Oh,
money.
yep.
Buying the little spindles, you're going to need 10,000 spindles for the size of that deck.
I don't want spindles. I want cross beams. X's. You know that X's are also farmhouse.
All my exes live in Texas, so you're going to have to go out there to find them.
All your X's
Can we get
live in
on with this
Florida.
podcast? Yeah, they do. And we're actually going back to Florida. So, yeah, so just so you know, we're going to Florida, and I'm going to miss the next probably 2 episodes. So, hopefully, Blake and the guys can get together and make it happen.
So what are we talking about today?
What was I talking about today?
No, so what are we going to
Oh,
talk
what are we
about
talking
today?
about? I don't know. I guess we're just going to ramble about a couple things that have been on our mind. Procrastination being one of them.
I think that would be great.
And this Pride Month.
We can touch a little on both.
I don't want to touch anything to do with pride. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was interesting, though. I hadn't really looked into it, but Target, you know how normally, like, you walk in and it's like rainbow threw up everywhere and,
At
like,
Target?
there's kid clothes
We
with,
don't even
like,
have a Target near us.
well, I know, but it was, like, on the news or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Well, when I say the news, I mean Facebook. So,
Yeah, so Target isn't playing the Pride stuff now, or what?
yeah, I guess, they're saying that, it's kind of like over with, like they've gotten over that now.
Well, thank
And
God.
other places too that used to have that kind of stuff, that were like known for those kinds of things.
Really?
Yeah,
That's good to know.
yeah, because I mean, we didn't want to go to Target like ever because I just didn't
Yeah, I
want
mean,
the
I
kids
pretty
to
much
see
wrote
it.
off
I didn't want.
Target, wrote off Disney. Well, I mean, Disney's been written off for a long time because they're just disgusting. And if you don't believe it, just look at the amount of people that are getting arrested for child trafficking coming that work there. Let's not start that argument. But Disney, Target, Starbucks has always been gross. Anyways, who else? I don't know. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a ton.
But yeah, I mean, it's out there, but it doesn't seem as bad and in your face this year. Or maybe I just
Yeah,
ain't.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Maybe
Is
I'm just
like
not on
that's what I'm saying
social
is
media
like
enough to notice.
it's like they're kind of over like they're just over it.
Well, I
And like there
know
was
we're
also a thing
over it.
on Facebook where it said like back in 2023 or whatever, and it was like Google and like just everything had like the little logo added to it, and now it's like and now in 2025 and it's like everything's normal, like because it's like people have understood that, you know, it's just not necessary.
Well, yeah, it's not necessary. If you want to be gay, that's your problem. Just keep it to yourself.
Like I
Like,
think,
why
I
do you
mean,
got to shove it down our throats?
a
That's
lot of it's probably like politics, marketing. They don't want to get in trouble. Blah blah
Well, and it really
blah.
kicked off pretty hot and heavy when Obama was president. That's, I think, when it was really like at its peak of being shoved down our throats. Was when, of course, that was because he was one of
Yeah,
them. But won't get on that rabbit trail either.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, so it's been nice, but that it hasn't been quite in our face. But throughout the years, we've had to try to do our best to filter that stuff out so that our kids aren't being overly exposed to. I mean, I don't think you'll be able to 100% protect your kids totally from it. And I like the little was it a meme, or it's not a meme, it's just a little thing on Facebook where it's got the umbrella with the pride colors dropping down on it, and you got the family underneath that you're trying to protect them.
I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, that's because they just keep trying to ram it down our throats, and then in the schools and stuff, they're not every school, but in some of these more liberal towns, they're trying to push it on our kids and all that
Yeah,
mess. And so that's one reason why I'm glad we homeschool. We don't have to worry about that as much. And it's funny that it's called Pride Month, because the Bible says that pride goes before the fall and a haughty
mm,
heart before destruction.
yeah,
And I mean, if you look at Sodom and Gomorrah and scenarios like that, I mean, they were destroyed
yeah.
because of that. And I mean, I feel like some of the behaviors that happen now are probably really similar to what Sodom and Gomorrah was all about,
I
with
think
what
so.
people are
Yeah,
doing, especially in the homosexual world. But even in the straight world, where they're messing around with kids and all that other stuff. I mean, it's just as foul and disgusting, and it's just sad. It's sad. And we were listening to Mark Driscoll, and what did he say? Something about instead of Pride Month, it should be Shame Month or something like that.
yeah. Like just recognizing the sin in your life, the shame in your life, and just dealing with it, repenting. Like,
Yeah, I don't know that I agree with the name Shame Month, but it could maybe instead of I don't feel that it's necessary to recognize homosexuals in any way, shape, or form in a positive light, as in celebrating an entire month for them. I mean, veterans get what, a day a year.
yeah,
You get Memorial Day once a year, one day. It's sad. Like,
hmm,
these people sacrifice their lives and they get a day.
yeah,
Then you got homosexuals that they're only destroying themselves and their families, and they get a whole month. That's
hmm,
disgusting.
yeah. It's
Man,
really sad.
yeah, and
And us being in rural Alabama, like we don't really see much of any of it.
see
You know,
some. Yeah, I've seen more than I want to, but
like this
it's
year.
not as bad as it could be. Just anytime. I mean, you
Mm,
don't see. It's not as blatant and in your face here.
yeah.
I don't think. I mean,
I
you
mean,
still
if we
see this
travel to
stuff, but
Mississippi or one of the bigger towns around here, yeah, we're gonna see some stuff. But
yeah.
living like in our little town, no
In Guen,
one's
I don't know. Yeah, there ain't
no
much,
one's
if anything,
like
going on in Guen. There's what, 2,000 people here. But
um
yeah, when you go into Hamilton, you see a little bit of it. But it's not like this blatant pride celebration stuff. It's just that they're that way. It's nothing like a in your face kind of behavior like you would might see in some bigger towns. I know back at Sarasota, you would see a
oh
lot of
yeah,
crazy crap.
they have tents they put up and they rally and they all get
Yeah.
together. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that happens in these big towns.
But I mean, as Christians,
Um,
we sit here and it's it, I'm disgusted by that behavior. But at the same time, we really need to be praying for these people that God
yeah.
somehow
And I've seen some amazing
interferes.
transformation stories that I follow, like on Facebook, or I guess that's really all I watch is like the reels on Facebook.
Yeah.
But there's a really cool story of this trans couple that she was female, and well, I mean, she is female, and she like mutilated her body, like she got her boobs removed and everything because she
Good
decided she was
grief.
going to be a man, and then she got saved, and
Did she put all the body parts
she
back together?
no, she still doesn't have like, chest or anything, but it's just really interesting, her story, and they're just like happily married the way it was intended.
That's so
So,
crazy. I
and
don't
she's
know.
had
That's so crazy.
I think she's had two children now. And like, she didn't know because she didn't know if she was going to be able to have children because she was on like the testosterone and on all the stuff that's, messes with your hormones and whatnot. And so it's amazing that, God allowed those miracles for her
It's
to have this
amazing that no
testimony.
matter how stupid we are,
God
first
can
off,
fix it.
God still loves us,
Mm-hmm.
and He can still bless us in many ways.
Yeah.
That's that amazes me so much because how stupid do you have to be to do something like that to yourself?
Well,
That's
I
stupid.
mean,
And
for them, but for you, what's your sin? I mean,
well,
it's
not
like,
mutilating my body.
well, no.
And I know sin is sin, but some things are just like, why? It's like,
Yeah.
like why? Like, may let a cuss word slip here and there. I feel like that's not as big of a deal as chopping parts of my body off.
Well, I mean, when you don't see it, you don't see
In
it. I
God's eyes,
mean,
sin is sin. I get it, but man,
no, no, I mean, like when you're living a sinful life, you didn't grow up in church. You didn't, you don't have any of those values. You don't, you don't know any better. And then your
yeah, and
blinders
and the
get
people
taken
that they surround
off.
themselves with are probably, encouraging them and
Yeah.
oh yeah, you gotta follow your heart, and this is who you really are. It's like, well, no, God made me this way.
Do what makes you
Dude,
happy.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this is why it's important, guys, to have good men that follow after God, that love God, that are in the Word, to mentor you or to be your your guy, your person to fall back on. Because these other people, I mean, I know my brothers, they ain't encouraging me to mutilate my body because I feel like I'm something different. Though I don't feel like I am. But even if I said, hey, you know what? I think I'm a woman and I think I'm gonna have these surgeries done. Chris, he'd probably beat the crap out of
Sorry.
me first.
I'd beat the crap out of you first.
But I'm just saying, like, my friends would knock the crap out of me and be like, what is wrong with you? That is messed up. And this is what the Bible says. This is what you need to do. And I'm like, I'm an idiot. And I'm not going to do that anymore. Instead of having people that are like, yeah, you just follow your heart. And
And that's why
if
it's
you
so
feel like you're
important
a
to have
woman,
a
then that's
support
who you are.
have a support with your local church, and I feel like that is one of the biggest reasons,
Yeah, I mean,
to
and that's interesting because like I've kind of struggled for a long time of, well, do I even really need to go to church? And I don't think you have to go to church to go to heaven, but it's good to go to church because then you can surround yourself with Bible believing, hopefully godly people, and maybe that's just a lot of what if it's a lot of what it's about is going there to just be around like-minded people to
hmm
you're
so it says in the
assembling like
Bible.
the Bible says. You're not forsaking the assembly by being able to go there and being with them and encourage each other and help each other and just create a family within a church of like-minded believers instead of, you know, I guess meddling with the world, even though we have to go into the world to share the gospel. But we also need those people behind us or with us that, read the word and can help us through our problems and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's that rant about that stuff. But it'd be interesting to hear what you guys do to protect your kids. For me, protecting my kids is one of the biggest things from all that mess, and I don't think that they need to be so sheltered that they first time they ever see it, they have a complete meltdown and come apart. And Dad, what is going on? Like,
Like
I
when
think
they
having
like when they see something on Halloween on YouTube.
our kids have been exposed to some weird stuff. And
It's pretty funny. Like we don't do Halloween, we don't celebrate it or anything. But like we're like, hey, we don't watch, Halloween themed things on YouTube or YouTube Kids or whatever. And it's like, they're just one of the kids are just searching on there
Yeah.
for something to watch, and they stumble on, jack-o'-lanterns or something, and
Oh my goodness!
like, oh my gosh, Kenzie was thinking about watching that, and I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it is okay.
It's because we explained to them that the holiday itself is very demonic.
Yeah.
And so then they've taken it. And when they were babies, we actually went trick-or-treating and all that.
Yeah.
And it was like, later on and
That's what I grew up
after a
doing,
while,
and it was
we
just
kind of got convicted and being part of all of that.
Yeah.
And looked into it more, and just there was no reason, like nothing we could find was
To take
helping
part
us,
in it.
justifying us doing it. It's just like, this is just wrong. And we don't have to celebrate every holiday just because that's the thing to do.
And that's just our own conviction.
But at the same time, too, like, especially with the stuff they watch, part of, too, why we don't allow them to watch some of that stuff is because they have nightmares all the time.
Yeah.
They watch some of this stuff, they're in our bed crying because they had a nightmare. And I'm tired of that. I like sleeping in my bed with my wife and nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Middle of the night, at the moment arises, I don't need a kid in the way.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. So I mean, it's a multiple thing. I mean, the biggest thing too is, I mean, when you take part in that stuff, I feel like you're opening the door to spiritual battles that you could easily avoid by not taking part in that.
Oh, you definitely are. Yeah.
And
you
once
definitely
again,
are.
we're fighting to protect our kids and not turn them into scared of everything that they come across. I mean, they're aware of it, they know about it. And some of our younger ones, they get a little crazy when it comes to seeing, it's like they have to go one extreme or the other. But I'm not going to raise them up thinking that it's what you just do because it's what everybody else does either. And I didn't grow up trick or treating. When I finally hit my teenage years and I was kind of away from my mom some and my dad, like I would go out with my buddies and we knew the neighbors that had the really good candy bars. And we'd hit them up.
King size
the king size stuff. We'd hit them up, and at that point it was all about just getting candy. And we wouldn't even dress up. I remember one year we just we just got together and we're like, hey, let's just go walk around and get some candy. So we go to the house and people are like, what are you supposed to be? Because we were just dressed in normal clothes. And I'm like, well, I'm George Bush and that's, some other president or whatever. And they're like, oh, okay. Because I think it was during Bush's time. And they gave us candy. So we just cared about getting candy. It wasn't about the celebration of whatever. It was, we wanted candy. Because what human being alive doesn't want candy?
Yes.
Yes. So yeah. But
I feel like you're procrastinating to get to procrastination.
yeah, well, that's what I do best is procrastinate, right?
Yes, it
Like
is.
So procrastination.
What does the Bible say about procrastination?
I don't know. So I did a quick search, and one thing in 1 Corinthians 14:40. Now, look, this may be taken completely out of context. So I didn't read the whole chapter. But it says, but everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way. That doesn't really talk about procrastination.
I feel like it also, it definitely ties into preparedness too. Like if you don't prepare, you're going to end up procrastinating.
Yes.
So Jared,
why you got to call out my name?
What have you prepared for We have a pig that we don't need. We've got...
You know, I hit that guy up too about buying it, and I ain't heard nothing from him. I'm just going to have to butcher it before we go.
We've got... Baby, we don't have room in the freezer.
Oh, we'll make room. We will make room.
This is it, guys.
So procrastination.
Procrastination.
You know, you don't have to throw me under the bus when it comes to this topic. Just because I am, you know, and it's funny because when I'm on a job, I have to like get the job done, so I don't really have time for procrastination. And there's a lot of moments where I just want to sit back, take a nap, forget I ever even took on the job. But it's like I have to just keep moving forward to get it done.
Right, because you have an accountability, like, to get it done.
I need accountability. Bad.
And you know you're going to get paid when it's done.
Yes.
You know that you get to go home.
My wife loves payday.
You know that.
Man, does she love payday. I mean, I like payday too.
You act like I'm this, like, big spender or something. I'm not.
I wouldn't say you're a big spender. I mean, we have to spend a lot of money because 10 kids.
Yeah, I mean.
They always need clothes. They always need food. They always need something. Bubblegum, candy, a new bicycle tube. Because we just gave them a brand new bike and they ran over nails because they thought that was fun. Which, speaking of procrastination, I still haven't changed the tubes on that bicycle.
No, you haven't.
So there's that.
I pretty much hear the same stuff over and over. Oh yeah, I gotta change the tires. Yeah, you do. Oh yeah, babe, I gotta kill that pig. Yeah. Oh, I gotta build the bunk beds. Yep.
Yeah, I still haven't done that either.
There's
I've just got so much going on.
And when there's so many things you have that you know you have to get done, what ends up happening?
I do what I want.
No.
I do what I want.
What ends up happening?
I don't know what happens.
Well, you get angsty.
Angsty?
What's that word?
Anxious?
Yeah, but like...
Anxiety?
No,
I think you're making
angst.
up a new angst.
Oh, there's no E,
Angst
sorry.
builds up within you.
Angst, anxiousness, also known as anxiety.
Have you been sipping on the bottle of wine today? What's happening over there?
And worry, I think, is a good one. Worry, like, oh no, I'm not going to get this done in time. I'm running behind and all the things. Because what's another really big anxiety-ridden thing that happens when you procrastinate? And then something unexpected happens. Now you're really pushing
This is a good one in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 11:4. And I had to read it a couple times for it to start clicking. Whoever watches the wind will not plant, and whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. That's interesting because whoever watches the wind, so if you're out sowing seed, if you're not careful and the wind blows, I mean, it could blow it, out of your rows or blow it onto rocky stuff or, in a sense, kind of make you waste your seed or whatever. So whoever watches the wind will not plant. And that's pretty interesting. It's saying like, if you're like looking and waiting for something to happen to kind of not go and just get it done, you're going to find it. You're going to find that reason or that thing that will keep you from moving forward and getting it done.
You do that a lot.
I don't watch the wind, babe. I guess
no, you stare at your projects. You like go out and you're like, you put your hand on your hip and you just like stare for
I'm
like
contemplating.
Gosh,
my
it's
life.
like it seems like forever to me because I'm like, okay, what are we doing now? Like, bring you another piece of wood, like, because I help him with a lot of things out there that or in here that we need to get done, and it's like, okay, now what? And he's just like, I'm thinking.
Hey, a thinker's got to think.
I'm like, what about? Like, let's just do it.
Okay. So to my defense, I didn't know this was going to be attack on Jared night.
I mean, it's
Rude.
just that you're more of a procrastinator than I
I am.
am.
It's just because I'm tired. It's like I'm always running, always going here, going there, doing this job, doing that job. When I come home, the last thing I want to do is the same thing that I've been doing all week long for everybody else.
I get it. You don't have to justify why you procrastinate.
But though, no, like when I'm standing around, sometimes, depending on the project, sometimes I have to like figure it out in my head. I'm almost like your dad in some ways. Like
Oh, Lord.
your dad would drive me crazy. Every project, he had to have from start to finish the whole thing figured out in his head before he'd even start. And if he could not get beginning to end and like picture the whole entire thing, he just wouldn't start it.
Oh, yeah. See,
It
I'm
was
like
hilarious
that.
because we'd get started on something because I helped good grief, after my motorcycle accident, I helped your dad out a lot on bathroom remodels and different stuff, and I'd get started with something. He's like, "Well, what are you going to do about this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't made it to that point yet. I just got to get this part done. So I'm going to get that done, and then we'll worry about that when we get there." And then I'd get to the next point. Well, but how are you supposed to do this? How are you going to do that? I'm like, "Look, Ray, just trust me. I've done this before. You just have to get through certain parts, and then you figure out the next thing." But he always had to figure out everything. Like
Yeah.
he had to cover all
To
his
a T.
bases. It's
And
so
then,
funny.
like, he'd be exhausted by the end
Oh
of
yeah, by
thinking
the end
about
he's
all of it.
sweating and tired. And
He's
he's like, you
like,
know what? I need a nap.
yeah, he's like, let's go fishing instead of doing anything productive. Let's just go fishing.
And who can argue with that? Fishing is productive.
So
You're
we went
you're
fishing.
catching and bringing home food.
Yeah.
Very productive. And there's nothing better than fresh caught fish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's things better than fish, but I'm just saying if you're gonna eat fish, there's nothing better than fresh caught fish.
Yeah. It's
Because
not
steak is better
fishy.
than fish, in my opinion. Bacon is
Yeah.
better than fish.
Tuna's pretty good, though.
Tuna's disgusting.
No, like real tuna.
Disgusting.
You've never had a tuna steak?
I've had cow steak.
It's wonderful. It's almost like you're eating steak, but it's not steak. That's how good it is.
That sounds like some of that plant-based nonsense that they're trying to
But it's
force
fish.
on us. But it's fish. I may or may not try it with the likeliness of not trying it.
I believe it.
I will procrastinate on that one.
I try like everything that you're like, babe, please try this.
Because
Please try
I know
this.
what's
Try
good.
this. It's so good. It's
My
so good. Just try
palate
it.
is amazing at
But
picking
then,
out
like,
the good stuff.
vice versa, I'm like, can you just try? No. No, I don't want it.
Okay, to my defense,
just
a lot of times
try
I will
it.
have taken a bite of something absolutely amazing, and then she wants me to risk messing up that flavor in my mouth for whatever nonsense she may be eating.
How long are flavors in your mouth lasting for?
Long enough to not want to mess it up.
Seriously? Because, like, when I'm, like, done like, when I swallow my food, like, I'm done. Like, I don't have taste anymore. Is that weird? Is that not normal?
Well, it's not like it stays there forever, but, like, you taste it, and it's like you have in your mind now how it's going to taste, flavors, all these things. And if you change it up by sticking some nonsense in your mouth, then
You're
it's
not
like,
being
wow, you just
literal.
messed up my whole groove of this amazing food.
Yeah. And then sometimes you're like, I just
What does
brush
this
my
have to do with
teeth.
procrastination? We're
I don't know.
procrastinating on getting to the point.
This is true. We're talking about steak and how good it is.
Yeah, steak is very good. Oh, yeah, so we were talking about your dad.
Yeah.
So, yes, I do struggle with some procrastination. But in some projects, I do need to actually stop and think about it a little bit before I continue on. So that's when you see me stopping and you're like, babe, what are we doing? It's me thinking about the next steps and what I really need to do. Or if there's something else I'd rather do instead, which usually that's the case. It's like,
Yes.
should I continue to build this wall? Or should I grab a couple of my guns and go out back and have some range time?
Yes.
Should I hang this sheetrock? Or should I run myself over with my truck? It's a hard decision because either way, it's miserable.
I mean, I get like that too sometimes. Like when the house it gets so overwhelming, I'm just like, oh, I just don't even want to start. I don't know where to start sometimes
You just got to
when
start
it gets
somewhere.
bad, you know.
Yeah.
So I go outside.
Wow, this is a disaster. I need to do something. You know what? I'm going outside. See, and then you're hating on me.
But usually when I go outside, it's because I feel like doing like work. So usually I'm cleaning the yard up, which I feel like shouldn't be my job, but it is.
Yeah. If it's got anything to do with the house, it's your job. If it's got anything to do with anybody
Or,
else's
you know,
house, it's my job.
A lot of times it's like cleaning the coop out and like dealing with chickens and stuff like that. So burning stuff, which is just fun for me too.
Yeah, you enjoy that.
Yeah.
You like throwing stuff in
Pyro.
the fire that you shouldn't burn, and then we have weird explosions.
Yes. But you know what? It's not anymore in my yard.
That's true, and neither is the explosive. I think it's like cans. I think you're throwing like spray cans or something in there. I remember.
I
I remember
honestly
when we
don't
bought the
know.
house. You and my dad was cleaning out the shed that's now a chicken coop, and you guys were just chucking everything on the fire. Just everything went
Like
to the
not
fire. It
looking
didn't matter
through-
what it was.
Like
Here's
they had boxes and boxes of stuff that were like just like full of stuff.
and they
and-
didn't bother to go through it. They're just
Yeah, we
like,
didn't.
no, it's going to the trash. Or
But
going to the
a lot of
fire.
the time you'd open it and just be like papers and papers, and it's like, oh, who wants
So they
to
kept
look?
chucking and chucking
Who wants
and
to look
chucking.
through that, right?
And there was at some point, I think you guys were done throwing stuff on the fire, and everybody was away from the fire or something. I remember being in front of the house in the driveway, and it sounded like a bomb went off. And my whole
literally-
backyard was, and it was the sun had gone down, and my whole backyard lit up.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, we just bought this house, we're cleaning it up, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
But nothing got hurt.
Yeah, me and your dad probably should.
You and my dad are the worst people at burning. The worst. My dad loves burning. He
His
moved up
dad-
here and became a
his dad-
pyro.
His dad burnt poison ivy.
Look, how many of y'all know anything about burning poison ivy?
So if you
We
guys
had
don't know,
no idea that you're
You
not
guys-
supposed to burn poison ivy. Like, how do you know that? You just wake up. Is it just one thing you're born with that kind of wisdom? Like you wake up or you're born from, you come out of the womb and the first thing you know is don't burn poison ivy. We had no clue. I mean, we got poison ivy in Florida. You just burn stuff. But here, my dad burned
Well,
poison ivy and my
also,
stepmom is highly allergic to it.
my father-in-law's wife is extremely allergic to poison ivy. So she had a terrible reaction.
Oh, yeah, she got
was-
blisters and tore up.
Oh
from it.
yeah. Like yeah, I mean it was terrible. She was terrible.
But how
for,
are you supposed to, like,
weeks.
do you guys know that you're not supposed to burn poison ivy?
Yeah, it leaches into your skin.
Leave a comment because
And it went
I
through
had
her
no
whole
clue.
system, and she had a terrible.
I've
It's
said
terrible.
that to some people and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're not supposed to burn poison ivy." I've said that to some other people and they're like, "Oh really?" I'm like, "See, exactly. I'm not the only person that doesn't know you're not supposed to burn poison ivy."
So the ones that are surprised don't have a relative that is allergic to poison
Yes, yes,
ivy.
absolutely.
The ones that are
'Cause,
like,
me and
oh
my
yeah,
dad-
you don't need to do
Me
that.
and my dad,
They-
we
they have
can work
allergies.
around poison ivy. We can touch it, mess with it, and it doesn't bother us. So even with
Yeah.
him burning it, it didn't bother him. But
Yeah.
my stepmom, it tore her up.
Yeah.
Or the time when my dad was having a fire in his backyard, just burning off some stuff, and he went inside for a little bit and came back out, and the whole backyard was black.
That's what I'm saying. Me and your dad probably shouldn't be the ones that
Yeah.
were burning stuff at the house.
Or the time he was burning stuff at our houses that we're trying to remodel and flip, and
And he
the woods
forgot
got
about-
on fire a little bit.
He forgot about it.
No, he didn't forget. Dad, I know you're listening to this too. My dad listens to these podcasts. I love you, Dad, but dadgummit, you and Autumn should not burn stuff because y'all are dangerous. I told him, Dad, don't burn today. It's too windy, and it's been dry. Oh, it'll be all right. He always acts like I'm like way overboard with my safety.
Yeah, I probably would have said the same.
Oh, it'll be okay. Good grief, Jared. You know, his typical stuff. and he was burning. And so once in a while I'd check, and he kept bringing stuff out and take. Well, finally I was working in the house, and I was like, I'm gonna go out and just check on him. And he's hosing down the trees behind him, behind the fire pit, because it was on fire. And I spent like 2 hours with the hose, soaking every nook and cranny of that area.
So,
I
like,
mean, it's not like
make
we
sure.
we didn't burn acres. I mean, we didn't even burn a quarter acre. It was just like a little.
No, it was
It
just
was
a
a little
little
area,
area.
but it's like
It was a good sized area.
it was
but
a good
small
sized area. But if I wouldn't have hosed and like there was, I hosed it down for a while, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. I went inside. I come back out later, and it wasn't like flaming, but it was like shoot.
Rekindling.
Yeah, it was smoldering. It was smoldering like it was gonna. So I had to hose it some more, and I had to do that a couple times. And then finally, I just went in there and started turning stuff over and moving stuff, soaking branches down, whatever, just to get it to quit. So then it was like for the longest time, it's like, here's this green grass. Oh, look at this black area. So yeah, my dad loves to burn, and my dad. I don't remember growing up my dad burning much of anything. He may have burned a little bit, but not much. But he
But
moved
see,
up
me and your
here,
dad are
and it's like he wants to burn everything.
But me and your dad are the same in the sense that
Old
when
and
we
crotchety.
burn, har har. When we burn, it's not like we want to burn necessarily. We just want to get rid of everything.
I agree.
So it's
it
kind
is
of like
nice.
when I get sick of a toy that I keep finding on the ground, and I just have this
or a toy
adult
that you step
freedom.
on 5 times.
Yeah.
Chuck it.
Yeah.
Don't procrastinate.
I have
Just chuck
the
it.
freedom of being like, why do I have this in my house? Guess it's going in the garbage
Yeah.
for donation or something, you know? And that's just great to have that, you know?
It is. I
and
mean,
not
fires
have
are nice
to-
because you can take a gigantic pile of something and turn it down to next to nothing. It just by the time it's done burning,
Yeah,
it's just
and
a
I
little
mean,
bit of ash.
with buying a fixer-upper, we had to burn. Like,
Dude, we had
would
so
never
much
have
stuff
been
in this house.
able
Like
to
this
get rid
house
of everything.
was full of stuff when we bought it.
Yeah, we
Just full of
couldn't.
junk.
Like,
It was
you'd open a
unbelievable.
bedroom door and like
You could hardly
wouldn't-
walk in.
You couldn't walk in. At least, you know, the foster room. You
Yeah.
couldn't walk
The
in
foster.
there.
That sounds horrible. The foster room.
Well, I was gonna say names, but I'm trying to, you know, not say names. So, you know, that room, it was literally you open the door, you could not walk in.
It was slap full.
This back room wasn't as bad.
Master wasn't as
This
bad. They
wasn't
cleaned
as
out
bad.
the master pretty good.
The office was pretty bad.
They did clean
too.
some stuff out right before we bought it, which was good. Now it's on the back end of the property. Because that's Alabama dumps for you.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna clean that out for you."
Nah, we'll dump it back
It's
here.
on the back of the property now.
Yes. But I was thinking the other day, coming home from a job that I was working on I did not enjoy, about procrastination. And yes, I am guilty of procrastinating, and I know a lot of people are. And kind of the thing that hit me was, I had my dad helping me, and we were working on a house where we had to replace some fascia. That was about 25 feet in the air, give or take a foot or so. And I'm pretty sure I've been clear about my my ability to handle being up in the air really high. I don't like it. I don't like heights. I don't like being way up on ladders, etc. And of course, we did it in the morning, and I didn't think about it, but that's the side the sun was kicking up on, and so we were roasting doing this job. And part of me was like, if I just tell them, hey, I'll come back tomorrow, or come back later in the evening, or something, when we're not getting burned up, it would be more comfortable to get it done at that time. But instead, thankfully for my dad, my dad's always been good at pushing. My dad is a really good pusher. Let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. And, we did take a little bit of a break because it did get really hot, and we took a little bit of a break, but we got recharged, came out there, and we're just like, all right, it's hot, it's nasty, but we've got to get this job done, so let's just do it and get it done. If we don't start now, we ain't going to want to get back at it. And we did, and I was just thinking, like, if I would have procrastinated, like, I already dreaded the job because it was so high up, and I get all sketchy when I'm way up in the air trying to yank on. We were replacing fascias, so you had to pry wood off, pull nails, hang new wood. Plus, we had to put drip edge in because when they installed the roof, they didn't, and the homeowner requested that we put drip edge up on that section. And the drip edge was fighting us because typically drip edge goes down before the shingles and all that. So we had to kind of work around all that. And it just, for me, it was sketchy working that high, shaky ladders, etc., shaky scaffolding. Part of it we got to work off the roof, so it wasn't as bad, but the shaky ladders I don't like. And I was battling and battling. Let's just come back later. Like, you're going to have to do it, but it's something makes it easier when you can just come back later. It's like you can fight that battle later on, kind of thing. And instead, we just kind of talked and was like, let's just go get it done. We have to get it done. Let's just get it done. And we did, and we pushed through it, and we got it done. And of course, there was a lot of praying. There was many times I said, Lord, you've got to help me, because there was several things that were hanging us up and making it more difficult. And I was ready to take a hammer and start beating things. And I was like, Lord, you got to help us get through this. And it was like step by step, He just kept helping us and pushing us and working through all these situations. And finally, boom, we got done, and it didn't take us all day. And we stepped back, we're like, thank God it's done. And it was such a relief. And so I was thinking, like, so many things in life we procrastinate in doing, whatever it may be. It could be a job, it could be talking to somebody about something, it could be, I don't know. I mean, there's so many different angles of procrastination. And what a relief it is when you finally just get it done. And so for me, that stupid little job, for some people, they look at it and laugh and be like, Jared, you're an idiot. That's really not that big of a deal. For me, it was. I don't like heights. I get really sketched out being way up in the air on a shaky ladder. When I don't have firm areas to hang on to and whatever, I got to use both hands. And so, but we pushed through and we got it done. And I was just like, thank God, it's over with. Now I don't even have to think about that job anymore. And it's the same thing here, like at our house with all these projects and my procrastinate. Most of my procrastination is what? Just getting work done around the house, really, right? I mean, is there anything else that I really procrastinate on around here besides that? Really,
Taking the
just
trash out.
hey, I got 10 kids that can take trash out.
I'm
I
kidding.
got other stuff to work on, but I mean, I guess there's probably
No, it's probably, yeah,
it's
mostly
really
stuff that
we
you
bought a house
do.
that needs to be fixed up, and I'm like, I can do everything that needs to be done. But you got to realize this house needed to be remodeled front to back, head to toe while we're living here. And that's hard to do. So I hustled like the first week before we lived here. I hustled. We got a lot done. Got the bathrooms remodeled where there were working, not holes in the, like literally holes through the floors in both the bathrooms
Yeah.
or in two of the bathrooms. We have a half bath that was working.
Yeah, and we
So we
needed the
had to
bathrooms
have that
done.
stuff remodeled. So it was
Yeah.
like I had to get it done so that we could use them. But then you get it done, and it's like, man, what a relief. And so I just couldn't help but think that if I just would base my life around continually working, even if it's small chunks at a time, just working, moving forward and getting things done, it just helps. It helps me in so many different ways. One, it makes my wife happy. And when the wife's happy, you men know usually what happens. But also, no, is that not true?
I'm not saying it's
When you're
not true,
happy,
but
we don't have as many kids as we do for no reason. I'm just saying. I got a lot of
well,
projects done in my life.
I think getting small chunks over a long period rather than thinking about all the things you have to get done, getting a huge chunk done at once, and then several weeks later, getting another huge chunk done. Doing small, productive chunks of, what your goal is, I think is more productive and it's less stressful. And, you know, you don't have that like hold over your mind of like, oh, I haven't gotten
You
anything
know,
done lately.
I'm glad you said the word goals because maybe that's really what I'm trying to get at is, you know, my goal is to have this house done. I don't know if this house will ever get done. I'll probably be 950 years old before we get on the last. I'll hit the last nail to finish the last,
It
or shoot the
doesn't.
last nail in for the last project, and then I'll die. But, you know, how many people don't even chase a goal because they have, in a sense, it's procrastination where they're thinking about all the things that they're going to have to do. And instead of saying, well, I've got to start somewhere, so I'm just going to get started and start moving towards my goal. And then they just don't do anything because it's overwhelming. Maybe that's not procrastination. That
Mm-hmm.
might be something else. But, you know, you procrastinate enough and then you finally, I guess, too, like with procrastination, you can talk yourself out of doing things. You
Well,
know?
I overthink. I overthink things. I overanalyze. And so I'm like, I like think, oh, I'm going to do this. And then I think about all the things that it entails. And then sometimes it could be something so silly too. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to work out, but I got to dye my hair. So if I'm going to dye my hair, I can't work out now because I
Do
need to,
squats while you're dyeing your hair.
because I'm going to want to take a shower after I work out.
Do push-ups in the shower.
But when I get done working out, my hair, like I'm going to be all sweaty. I'm not going to, the hair stuff's not going to work right,
Yeah.
So then I'm going to have to take a second shower later on. And then you add in like, you know, this is the nap times of the babies. So it's like I have to do it now or never. And then
That should be.
you add in, oh, tomorrow's Sunday and they're going to see all my gray hair tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
So I've got to get it done.
And you've got a lot of gray hair, which is hilarious.
Thank you. I'm so glad everyone knows that now.
They do.
But like then you're like, oh my gosh, oh I can't work out. I just have to dye my hair because it's the nap time, the baby's nap times, and I just have, it's
But
like
that's
picking
not
and choosing.
procrastination, is it? Like that's just like picking and choosing what's
No,
priority.
I'm not talking about procrastination. I'm talking about overthinking because I feel like some of what you're talking about is overthinking or overanalyzing everything. Like just thinking about the entirety of the whole thing that you're trying to get done. Instead of just like thinking this is what needs to get done, I'm going to go do it or I'm going to go start doing it. You think about just all the things that could basically, make you fail or maybe not make you fail, but maybe things that are just like gonna, what's the word? Like creating an obstacle for your goal. Like if my goal is to dye my hair, it's like all these things that I'm thinking. It's like, it's kind of like, and it goes into like anxiety and worry and, all those fun things to talk about. Overthinking does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what she has to worry about during the day. Do I work out or do I let the people at church see my gray hair?
It's just a hypothetical thing. I don't even buy box dye. I don't even dye my hair, bro.
Do my hair. I'm not one of those poors that box dyes my hair.
No, I just let it grow. My grays grow out for eternity. And then 9 months from now, I'll get my hair done.
You are pretty good about not wasting a bunch of money on hair dye and stuff.
I don't waste money on anything.
Well, let's not.
What do I waste money on?
Look, this isn't airing dirty laundry on the
Well,
Fortune podcast.
I did chew you out a little bit, so.
Yeah, be nice to me.
Exactly.
Be nice to me on my podcast. But yeah, so procrastination, not hair dyeing.
Did you notice that he didn't mention anything that I spent a ton of money on? Because I don't. I go thrifting. Like, what do I spend money on? What the heck?
She has 85 pairs of shoes and wears 2 of them. Okay? I'll just leave it at that. And
I
you,
do.
all you men listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She'll buy 85 pairs of clothes from a thrift store, and it's okay because she got it from a thrift store. It was on sale, babe. It was on sale. I have 850 pieces of clothing. I wear 5 of them. And, every time I try one on, it just doesn't look that good. Okay, well, why don't you sell it or something? Well, and it hangs in the closet. So we'll just,
The favorite line is, guess how much
yeah,
I
guess
spent.
how much I spent? More than you should have. Even if it was
But you
free,
always
you
guess,
wasted more money by driving to get it
but
because you'll never wear it.
your guess is always so ridiculously low that it's not even fun for me.
Oh, yeah, she's like, guess how much I pay for this? I'm like, I don't know, $2.
Like, I
She's
get
like,
like brand name
no.
stuff for like so cheap, and you're just like, $5. Like, no, I bought like 25 items. I don't think
I'm
it's gonna
just
be
telling her how much
$5
I
or less.
think I would have spent.
No, you just like to burst my bubble. You're like, I'm
Yes.
gonna say it extremely low.
You are the pimple I like to pop.
Ew.
Why are we on this subject?
I don't know. You're being mean.
You're welcome. So procrastination is what we're trying to stick to.
Yeah.
We're procrastinating again on getting the subject done.
Well, we were talking about overthinking,
Overthinking, yes.
and now we're back to
But
procrastination.
my dad always said, because there are times too when I'd be working with dad and I'm like, well, let me just figure this out for a second. He's like, Jared, let's just do something. And he's always told me that, when you get in a bind, because there's times when you get in a bind, like, especially moving up here, but even in the past, we were always had opportunities to take on new projects. Why do you look at me like that? You look like you're
I'm
gonna
trying
kill
to
me.
figure out what you're saying.
It
Keep
has
going.
nothing to do with you. Either way, in the past, so we've always
going.
been given opportunities to take on new work, learn new projects. We had a lot of good customers that trusted us to do things that were out of our comfort zone and allowed us to kind of expand and spread our wings a little bit. And so we get to certain parts where I'm like, man, I don't know how to do this part or what I should do, or because I always want to make sure my jobs when I'm done, they're done right, done good, they're gonna last. We're not getting called back because we didn't do something right. And my dad's like, well, just start doing something, just start working on something, and pray about it, and it'll come to you. And I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how many times I've been like, Lord, I need help because I don't know what to do, and I just start fiddling with it or trying to do something, and it's just like all of a sudden, before you know it, you're done, and you're like, oh, and it's like if I'd have just sat there and thought about it, it'd have never got done. If I'd have procrastinated, it just would have never got done, and it'd always be weighing on me. Man, how am I going to do this? Blah blah blah. And I guess that also falls in trusting God and asking for help and guidance and wisdom through things in life in general. And yeah, so procrastination is bad. I think we've beat that horse enough.
Yeah.
Don't allow procrastination to keep you from accomplishing things. It weighs on you. You always have it in the. I know for me, like I have all these projects that she's been pushing me to get done, and some are more necessary than others. And I come home and I think about it, and I'm like, is she going to give me a hard time about it today? And then she doesn't,
No.
and I'm like, oh, sweet. Then it's the next day. Is she going to give me a hard time? If I just get it done, I don't have to worry about that. She'll be happy. The project will be done, and I don't have to think about it anymore. But I procrastinate because I have other projects that I want to get done. I want to get my gun shop done. I want to go for a ride on the four wheeler. I want to get my driveway built up. How I'm trying to get it built up with all the dirt we're getting brought in.
I'd love to know the last time I gave you a hard time.
Well, that's what I'm
about.
saying. But I worry about it in case you do. Because there are times when you get tired of me not getting something done. You're like, babe, can you just get the trim put up in the bathroom? Or can you just give me the paint and I'll paint the door? Or whatever it might be. I mean, it's not like she's not like rude to me, but she's kind of like, babe, can we just get something? Or can you just finish one project? Can you just finish one
No,
project?
no. It's not finishing one project. It is just having one room finished.
Yeah, finishing one project.
Like complete 100. Like I'm looking, like our bathroom, we don't have a door. We're missing part of a wall, or not a wall, but a drywall or whatever. And then the paint's not finished. I don't know if you put the trim up in there, did you?
Yeah, the bathroom's trimmed out. It just needs to be painted now.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for like a year and a half.
We've been here 2.5 years, babe.
2 years.
You just
Whatever.
told everyone
it's
that
just numbers.
you
It's
did
just
the bathrooms
numbers.
immediately, so.
I did. I got them working.
But
All
it's
the
not,
tile was
and
done.
like there's so many rooms that are like almost
I know.
done.
Even the kids' bathroom isn't 100%. Our bathroom
Right.
isn't 100%. The kids' bathroom isn't 100%. Our bedroom isn't 100%.
Yeah, like I can't, like my mind
The living room's
doesn't
not
work
100%.
like that. Like like yesterday I organized one room and got it all
about
complete.
just getting it functioning.
And then today I was organizing because the foster kids, the 2 new foster children moved in with us, and then we got sick for like a week and a half. And then now we finally were like kind of getting back into like our normal stuff. And so there was no organization or anything. So yesterday I took, time to organize the one room. Today I did another room, and it's like, it's complete. Like when I'm done, like
you complete me.
It's done though.
You are good about when you get started on that, like getting through the whole thing. Which is cool. For me, I just want to get it up and running and functioning. And after that, I don't really care.
Oh, it functions.
It functions great. We have a great functioning bathroom. If we could just get better water pressure to this place.
Yeah.
I need to get that done. Figure that one out.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's another thing too, is that we got our house functioning.
Yeah, it's functioning now. It's like,
So now we're like,
I can live in squalor.
You slowed down. Like the flooring in our house, there's like 2 closets. It's not done.
But it's like we don't walk in the closet.
But we don't walk in the closet.
We just
exactly.
Store stuff in
That's
there.
what I'm talking about. The functionality is there. There's no need to finish. There's no need to finish because
holes
it's
in the floors
working.
where people can fall through. Our water works.
We don't have
the walls aren't
nasty
falling down.
rat poop infested carpet.
Exactly. We got brand new carpet, new flooring throughout the house. Just not in the closets because I didn't finish it. Big deal.
Or under my laundry machine. So now my dryer door, every time I put stuff in my dryer, the door closes.
This is a complaining podcast. I'm going to put on here Autumn complaining.
I'm just saying.
So see the headache that procrastination brings?
There you go.
A lot of complaining from your wife. So let's not procrastinate. Let's just...
It really is, though. It's like a cloud just like hanging over your head. Like, oh, this big to-do list of all the things. And it's like, and then you just don't get anything done. And then it's just worry, fear, probably anger, anxiety for sure. Yeah. Of just all like anger at yourself, that you didn't just get it over with, and just get it done. And then I guess we could tie in, the Bible verse that's, do all things. Hold on.
You got it, babe. Figure it out.
Do all things for the glory of God. I feel like that's not 100% right, but
I know, and I've tried to say that verse too on the podcast, and I never get it fully right. I'd have to actually pull it up.
It's kind of hard to... Okay. In all things... I keep thinking of other verses. When I say that, I keep thinking of...
I was thinking in prayer and supplication.
Yeah, what is up with that? That's so weird. In all that you do it for the glory of God is basically what the verse is that I'm thinking of. And it's a great verse because...
Here you go. Ecclesiastes 9:10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For in the realm of the dead, when you are going, there is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom.
Well,
Whatever
there you
your
go.
hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For in the realm of the dead, where you are going, there is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. So do everything, whatever your hand finds to do you got to do it with the best of your ability, with
Hmm.
all your might. When you're dead, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But while you're here, there's a lot to be done, a lot of things to do,
Which is
and whatever you get your hands on, just get it done. I just, like I said, it just kind of hit me the other day coming home from work because it was like, if I had procrastinated this job, as it wasn't one of those jobs where I was like dreading it so bad, but there was things about it that I was slightly dreading, and it's like if I just go get it done, I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it because now I sit back and I think about that job and I'm like, I'm done. It's done. I don't have to do anything else to it. Thank God I'm done. But if I wouldn't have just gone through and completed it, it would be hanging over my head like a cloud, like you said, and just weigh on me. Like, man, I've got to get that job done. Man, I got to get that job done. Or estimates, Sometimes I procrastinate on doing estimates because looking at the job is easy, but sitting down and taking the time to figure out what everything's going to cost, especially with the extent of some of these jobs that I do, you spend 8-10 hours doing estimates, and it's like I procrastinate on some of that stuff because, man, it's just, I don't have a magic wand to wave or magic uh, formula to figure everything out. It's always, how long is this going to take? How much material? Did the material prices change because things fluctuate? How far away is the job? Because nothing is close by anymore. I have to travel. There's so many different variables you got to throw in that you procrastinate. So then you get down to the last minute. You're like, I got to get this thing done. So then you breeze through it. And then you're like, get in the job and you're like, man, I wish I'd have figured a little more for this, or wish I'd have figured a little more for that, because now I'm kind of regretting. So if I would have just taken the time to work at it, and it didn't have to get finished all at once, but work at it in chunks, even just I'm gonna devote X amount of time to working on as much as I can, and you just take that time to do it, and you say, okay, I'm gonna take a break. Maybe the next day come back, work on it some more. Just work through it piece at a time is better than waiting until the last minute and then just rushing through it.
hmm
And it did. It really kind of spoke to me because, you know, like I said, I do procrastinate on some stuff, and I really just gotta push myself to just get stuff done and do things. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work on it. It's like tonight I was working on an estimate, and I just didn't even want to think about it. But I'm like, I have to at least get something done. So I worked on it for a little bit, and finally you're like, babe, if we're gonna get a podcast done, we just need to go get it done. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if that verse that you just read, I wonder if that's kind of where the saying, like, I can sleep when I'm dead, came from.
Maybe,
You know what I
maybe
mean?
not.
Like,
Yeah, I guess.
you
Yeah,
look like you're
I've
going to
said
make
that.
fun of me,
Well, I want to
but,
make fun of you just because it's fun to make fun of you.
but like
But
what
yeah,
you just said, it's
I've
kind
said
of,
that many times. I can sleep when I'm dead. Like, aren't you gonna get your rest? It's like I can sleep when I'm dead. It's like while I'm up, while I'm able, I'm just gonna do as much as I can, and that's where you get burnout too. And
yeah.
we've had conversations about burnout. But just do it the best of your ability. Just give it your all, get through it, and get done. But do the best you can, and don't procrastinate. Because the more you procrastinate, the longer it's gonna take. And the longer you're going to dread it, or longer, you don't procrastinate at things that are fun. You go get those done right now, and it's like boom, done. And that's funny too. Thinking about going to shoot guns out back or something, I want to have a little range time. You go do that before you know it. You a couple hours in, a couple hundred rounds through, and you're like, okay, I'm done. And it's like, man, that was just a blink of an eye, and you're done. And a lot of projects and a lot of things in life could be done in a blink of an eye, in a sense, if you
Hmm.
just get down and buckle down and do it. Not everything is this long, drawn out, miserable thing, but it becomes long, drawn out, miserable because you procrastinate and make it that way.
Hmm.
So just if you got something to do, just do it. Just get it done, and you can be free of that and not have to worry about it anymore. And that's something that I'm learning too, is just quit procrastinating. Just get it done. Just doesn't matter what it looks like. If you know you have to do it, just do it. You got to do it, so just get it done. And of course, parents tell you that as a kid growing up. You got to do it, just go do it. It's like, yeah. Or I could think about it for 3 hours and not do it and find a reason not to do it. I can watch the wind so I don't have to plant. Or I can look at the clouds so I don't have to reap. Like in Ecclesiastes.
I think your kids definitely inherited that.
Hey.
They definitely did.
You're with them more than I am. So
yeah,
it's your
but
fault.
I'm like, can you guys just
I know.
Work
you just
together?
Want to go have fun. That's me.
It'll take 5-10 minutes if you guys all just do what you're supposed to do for 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. And then you can go finish doing whatever it is that you were doing.
There's a song that goes, girls just want to have fun.
Wow.
And we have a bunch of girls, and they just want to have fun.
They
want to go play. They want to go play out in the
time
creek and go run around the
to
yard
have
and
fun.
play Barbies or whatever they do, rather than work and clean.
They'd have a lot more time to have fun if they would quit whining and fussing
Yes.
and dragging their feet.
Yes.
They
would.
pick up one toy and they walk all the way to their room.
Isn't that so
And then they disappear
funny?
for 10 minutes. And
Isn't
I'm
that
like,
so funny? Because it's like we get on about that. If you just grab a handful of stuff and go, you'd be done. But yet, I do the same thing. Where I'm like, man, I'm just going to do a little bit. Kind of mope around about it. Whatever. This is turning against me, so I think we just need to end this podcast. I don't know. It's late. We need to go to bed. And I don't know if there's really much else to talk about.
no, I think we covered.
I think we beat the dead horse long enough. And rambled enough.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, I enjoy. We actually get pretty good feedback when Autumn's on. It's surprising because who wants to listen to her?
I was told
honestly?
the other day that I have a nice podcasting voice.
Which is hilarious because you've been made fun of your whole life for having such a soft, young-sounding voice that everybody thinks you're like 2.
That is true. Sometimes I answer the phone and they're like, "Hi, can I talk to your mom?"
Excuse me, I am the mom.
I'm like, that's me.
You do have a higher pitched voice. It's pretty funny.
Anyway, I think sometimes it's when I answer the phone, I'm a little more high pitched because I'm like, it's like my professional voice, I guess.
Oh, a high pitched voice is professional. Huh? Hello, this is Autumn Miller. Can I help you?
I don't know. I think I do. I think when I answer the phone, I think I'm a little bit higher pitched because it's like I don't know who it is.
Or you're just at your wit's end and you're fixing to scream. So you're just like, ah! They're like, oh, can I talk to your mother or your father or anybody but you?
Yeah.
I am the mother. Leave me alone.
It's kind of weird.
Oh, well, it is what it is. Well, I think we've done enough rambling.
Yeah. All right.
For
close
one
us
night.
out, bro.
And close us out, bruh. Last time you said bruh, Larry had to put that on Facebook. What was it? I forget even what it was.
Things gotta change. Bruh.
Things gotta change, bruh. So here you go, Larry. She gave you a new one. Close us out, bruh. Garrett, get back to work. All right, we're putting the podcast out. Get back to work. But I'm going to miss you guys the next couple weeks because I will be in Florida. And I'm hoping the guys will be able to get you something out. And if they tell me they can't, I might just try to record something on my phone. So good luck with that. But either way, we love you guys. We're in a busy season. We're doing our best. We haven't given up on this. We love this. This is still very important to us. And we're just in a busy season and we'll get through it. And either way, we love you guys. We hope you have a great week. We out. Thank you guys for listening. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram and follow us so you can stay up to date with latest podcast drops and content. Also, feel free to leave us a review on whatever streaming platform you're listening from. We'll catch you next week.